Good afternoon and welcome to Porsche Minor Mechanics. Just a little Christmas ditty. It's Christmas Day, believe it or not, and I've been busy doing bits and pieces, getting ready for my lunch. I have been round to see my daughter, done presents with her, which has been amazing, and I've got quite a few bits and bobs from her myself, so I'm really pleased with that. I'm just about to have a bit of lunch, but I thought I'd give you a little update as to what I've been doing over the last sort of month and what might be coming up in the new year. So let's take a look at what I've actually been doing right now. But before I do that, just something I want to get off my chest regarding some of the content creators on YouTube. Over the last few months, there's just been an excessive amount of videos telling you how to get more views on your channel. Click this button, click that button, wait 24 hours before you release a video. Do an AI paragraph on your bio. All these kind of things and bits and bobs. Do this, do that, do this, and you'll get more views. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's a load of rubbish, and all they're doing at the end of the day is getting you to watch their channel, earning them revenue, because most of them are all monetized, so and giving you very little information that's actually of any use to the average content creator. I consider myself pretty average. Now, I have over 200 videos, and I've probably got 4 or 5 that have done extremely well over the years. Not instantly, but over the years. Now, I tried a lot of these things that the content creators were banging on about. You know, click this button, make sure you've got this ticked and this bit and all that. And it makes little or no difference whatsoever. There is only one thing that will get you views on YouTube. And I mean it. There is one thing and one thing only, and that is the quality of your content. My stuff's pretty average most of the time. It's just what I do when I do it. I edit it as bestly as I can, try to make it as interesting as I can, but it's pretty niche in some respects. That, you know, if I do a service on a Ford Focus, then unless you've got a Ford Focus that you want to do a service on, it's very unlikely that you're going to want to watch it. So I have a selective market which keeps my views down. I've no doubt about that. But overall, basically, if your content is good and as interesting as you can possibly make it, your views will go up and your channel will grow. It's as simple as that. Don't take a blind bit of notice about the algorithm and whether YouTube are going to promote your video, etc. because you've pressed this button or you've done this or you've done that, whatever. It's absolute baloney. I recommend, if you can improve your content, your channel will grow without anything else being done, because the algorithm will pick up the popularity of said channel and promote it naturally, whether you've ticked whatever boxes in your settings. Anyway, enough about that. I was a bit annoyed. So Christmas Day is a pretty quiet one for me. Generally, I pop round in the morning and do presents with my daughter, but generally it's a somber day for me, quiet, sometimes a little bit lonely, but I do try and keep myself upbeat and keep things going. I have a roast dinner, I make the effort, do all the trimmings, etc. Now this is what I've been up to. I started about a month ago. This was all dark wood, but I've covered it in a vinyl and created kind of like a breakfast bar effect. I also redid the wooden top as well, rubbed that down. It is a veneer, but I rubbed it down gently, gave it a little light stain and a couple of coats of diamond cut varnish. And as far as the aft cabin concerns, this is how it looked originally. I removed the mirrors, the back headboard, stripped it all out, I want to give the headlining a facelift and put something on the sides just to lift the colour, as it's very dark in terms of wood. You know, this is an 85 boat, so that was all the rage back then. So just basically want to give it a bit of a modern twist to create a little bit of a fresh environment. I took the panels away from the hatch and the backboard, upper backboard, and decided to give them a coat of Furniture Clinic's vinyl / leather paint. You've got to put a few coats on and bide your time with it, but it's after cleaning the surface and using a paint sponge, it's very thin, but it works really, really well. And I've got another little bit of kit from them to repair that scratch, as a couple of other marks have appeared as well. This is the aft cabin stripped down, the mirrors have gone, and the woodwork's really, really good. So I don't want to paint it or damage it in any way, because there's always the option to be able to return it. The dressing table tops are really good quality, and so is the back. That's that panel that I removed that you saw earlier, and this is giving you a little inkling as to what the before and after looks like when you've added your coats of paint. I've just done round those fixings purely to enable me to carry on without removing them later on. Preparation wise, I'm using a rubbing alcohol. I'm just making sure that I get as much, or if not all, of the polish off the woodwork before applying the vinyl. It was filthy. I'm quite embarrassed to say how dirty it was up there, but still plenty of cleaning, plenty of effort. It evaporates itself anyway, so it should all dry out quite nicely. The back boxes for the sockets, they would not come out of those holes. I don't know why. Normally when you bring the lugs in that the screws fit into, you can slide the boxes out, but I had to leave them in, so I'm going to work around those later on with regards to the vinyl. The vinyl I got from the vinyl I got from Amazon. I'll list that somewhere in the video a bit later on. It is really important to make sure that you get it nice and clean. So having done the other side already, you'd think that this side would be easier, but it actually wasn't. Just be careful with it. It is quite thick as vinyl goes, so just be careful with handling it. You don't want to crease it in any way, because it just marked, as I found out, on a smaller area. But you are able to apply it and remove it and apply it again without any issues with the glue coming off it or leaving residue on your panels. This stuff sticks to pretty much any kind of flat, non-porous surface. So I got on quite well with it, all things considered. Warmth certainly helps it as well. So if you can do it in a warming environment, you'll get a better result. And it's a little bit more pliable and manoeuvrable in terms of getting the air bubbles out. I used like a credit card as a squeegee, but most of the work I did either with my, because it's thick, with my hands, or a soft cotton cloth, which worked really well to smooth out those bubbles. But generally didn't get too many in it. It's just when you're working in a confined space like that, where you've got a panel at the far end and another one up the other end, it is a bit tight, particularly when you're trying to line up the top edge with the shelf in my case, and the bottom edge with the dressing table top. But it did go on extremely well. Take your time with it. You can lift it up a few times. I've had to go over the socket, which I'm going to cut around Just make sure that you don't cut it too small so that you can, I could pull the back box out a little bit, enough to get the vinyl behind it, but I don't know why it wouldn't come out. But a nice clean cut around the socket box gave me a lovely finish. Really pleased with that. A few finishing trims. I ran it over the edge as well, round to the back panel on the left, so that I didn't have a visible join for the two panels, which was there before. So we have all the furniture back, the collars back. You can just see the old and the new in terms of the vinyl paint, which is really flexible. I'm really pleased with the end result on that. Just got to do the rest of it now. The mirrors on Amazon, very good. You got power modes on them, etc. They come with 12-volt transformers, so I've plumbed those into my existing circuit. I am 24 volt in the aft cabin, but I put a step down in so that it enables them to run off the boat's power. And that's the aft cabin to date in the daylight. The carpets are next to be changed, and along with the headlining replacement stroke renovation, and I might even throw some new curtains at it, who knows. But yeah, that'll do for now. So let's take a look at the aft cabin now. It's almost finished. Here we go. So I never waited for the second roll of vinyl, and instead I used up what I had left over. The other reason for me not going ahead with covering that entire back section was purely because of the angle and the shape of it, and the fact that the vinyl wasn't really that flexible in terms of I was going to crease the living daylights out of it. So I decided to cut some shapes out. They are basically dinner plates and glasses and various other little things that I cut around, and I just basically used all the vinyl up. So we have new mirrors, hairdryer there on the wall, all the sockets are back, same on this side. These mirrors are available, I bought these on Amazon. I will list those for you, but you can have different lighting shades, like warm light, and then your power, you can dim those down just like that. I've even gone for a matching teal bed set. But overall, very pleased. Let's just turn these down. And if we turn the overhead lights off, you end up with the help of some LEDs, some colour options, which are quite nice. I can't believe that I'm still making a video or finishing a video off which I started weeks ago on Christmas night. But nevertheless, I hope you like the cabin. Future projects include, I'm going to be giving my workshop a makeover, Not quite sure yet, but I'm going to get the floor done and put it and just have a rearrange. I'd like to knock a bit of it down inside to create myself a little bit of room. That's coming in the new year. I'm also considering wrapping the Porsche. Now, I've got a couple of options colour wise, and they look like this, and they look like this, and my favourite at the moment is this. I have been practicing with cheap vinyl on door mirrors and stuff like that. They say a Porsche 911 is one of the hardest cars to wrap, purely because everything's curvy. So do let me know what you think about my crazy idea of wrapping the Porsche for one, and those three colours. I am torn with I've got a teal stroke blue thing going on at the moment, clearly looking at the aft cabin. But still, let me know what you think, because I really would value your comments on that. Let me know, because I am excited to be doing that. So I'm really pleased with the aft cabin. I've still got to do the vinyl on the headlining, and I'm going to do that throughout the boat, including what's above me. Now, I've used Furniture Clinic stuff before. Still can't get a discount out of them, but there you go. But their stuff's really good. I've used it back on the Porsche 18 months, 2 years ago, and I'm really pleased with it, how it's lasted. In fact, it's still as good as it was the day I put it on. This is what I'm using. It's vinyl and leather paint, I suppose you could call it. That's what it says on the tin. It took 4 or 5 coats. Maybe in some places I might have put a 6th one on. It is quite thin, but it's very flexible, and it has transformed it. So I've got another 2 bottles here. These are 500 ml. So I've got a litre there. That was about 60 quid for the 2. The mirrors and the vinyl came from Amazon. They're about to appear on your screen now. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that's watched the channel over the last few years. I'm close to 20,000 subscribers, which is incredible. Thank you for that. It gives me the encouragement to crack on and try and provide the best content that I can. Have a great Christmas, a wonderful happy new year to you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.